Hello, fellow wizards. You want to get on your broomsticks and go to Hogwarts with me? Come on, we need to hurry to make it to platform 3 3/4 before the train leaves. I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm 24 years old. I have a niece who will watch this when she grows up and think her uncle is autistic or something. I can't. I need to get my priorities straight. I can't do this.
Before I get into this, I should mention the huge TERF in the room. Of course, TERF stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminists. But I like to see that J.K. Rowling is more of a BFL, which stands for Big Fucking Loser. My point here is to point out that witches wear pointy hats, and also I don't like J.K. Rowling. In fact, I would go so far as to say that I hate J.K. Rowling. I hope she's watching this because I want her to know I don't just hate her as a person, I hate her as a writer too. Now, as much as I hate Just Kidding Rowling, I did grow up with the Harry Potter series and the movies. The books were good when I was a kid, but when I tried to reread them as an adult, I hated them. I really didn't like them. They were really bad. Her writing honestly isn't all that good. I mean, that's coming from the perspective of someone that took 5 years to get their English degree, but whatever. I don't think death is done really well in any of the books. She just kills off a lot of characters, and it seems more for like shock value than actually like emotional stuff for the characters. She's also someone who's really known for pretending like she planned shit like way in advance. She said years after the books were finished that Dumbledore was gay the whole time. Now that's cool and interesting, but guys, I don't remember any hints of Dumbledore being gay. Did Dumbledore suck any cock in those books? I don't think so. I don't remember that. I think I would remember that. My favorite is when someone asked her if there was a Jewish kid at Hogwarts, and she said, yes, Anthony Goldstein.
What did you say? What the fuck did you just say?
Anthony Goldstein, man? You just made that name up. That is the most stereotypical Jewish name. In fact, it's so stereotypical, maybe this kid did exist, because, you know, JK, man, she's not good at names. JK is not able to admit that she wrote a mostly white story in the 90s. She wants to pretend that she wrote this really progressive story about a gay principal who teaches kids magic, or that Hermione was never specifically given a race. I don't know. Her one ethnic character is called Cho Chang, which if you translate that is just Chinese gibberish. Now JK is complaining about how she hates trans women because they infiltrate the feminist space. She pretends like she was super inclusive the whole time she was writing Harry Potter, but she's never been more hate-driven today. Kind of ironic. Now, why would I review these movies if I hated J.K. Rowling so much? Well, I think the movies aren't all just by J.K. Rowling. I think a lot of people had a lot to do with these movies. Like, for example, Daniel Radcliffe. You know, he doesn't like J.K. Rowling or her thoughts, and I agree with him. I think Emma Watson also said some similar stuff about her just kind of being stupid. And like, hey, that just reminds you that other people made these movies. It's not just her. Ow! Oh! Ah! Ah! Fuck my elbow.
I don't care that you broke your elbow.
Now, back to the matter at hand. The movies came out not too long after the release of the 3 books. The first 3 books, that is. And as a young kid who was obsessed with magic and wizards, this was my jam. Of course, I did not see them in theaters as I was merely 7 months old when the first one came out, still sucking at the teat of my mother. Yet still, watching The Philosopher's Stone a whole 10 years after its release, it still had that magic. Now, a whole 24 years after its release, I wanted to revisit the franchise to see if these films still hold up. And when it comes to Philosopher's Stone, I think the answer is like, yeah, I guess so. Christopher Columbus, the filmmaker, not the colonizer, is actually pretty good at directing the bright, fun kids' movies. So I mean, him writing and directing Harry Potter, it only made sense. This movie has such a cool vibe to it. I love the practical effects, it makes all the magic scenes feel more real, and it helps immerse you in the world. I think a lot of what I like about it might be the nostalgia for the era it came out in. 2000s movies are what I grew up with. So going back to this movie, it gives me that same feeling. The way it looks, the sets, the shots, it kind of screams 2000s blockbuster. For some people, they might hate that. And hey, I get it. I hated myself 2 years ago. Granted, I wasn't working with much back then. But now I think nostalgia takes over, and watching something like this makes me feel at ease for some reason. Reminds me of being a kid where things were simpler. But the main thing is to look at this movie and say whether it is a good adaptation of the source material. And the answer to that question is, yeah, I guess so. I read these books 12 years ago.
Damn!
I'm sorry.
I tried to reread them for this series, but I couldn't get through the first 2 chapters of the first book because that shit was boring. Honestly, it was boring, it was slow, and I was surprised that I even liked it as a kid. But I did read Percy Jackson instead, and that shit bangs and is low-key better than Harry Potter. Saying that sentence, it really made me feel like Steve Buscemi's character in 30 Rock.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
It's hard to put an entire novel into a 2-hour children's movie, but I think Harry Potter has always done a pretty good job with showing the important aspects of the novel in the film adaptations. What it does well is bringing the world to life. The wizarding world feels real and magical, like it was straight out of the books. The characters are also amazing. I don't know if there's any better casting in any movie series ever. I mean, Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid, like, I don't think anyone will ever beat his performance. Visually too, it's perfect. It was meant to be. This was also the first series to bring child actors into the main spotlight and turn them into bona fide stars. Out of our 3 main stars, it's kind of hard to say which one is doing the best. I would say that all 3 of them are doing equally as good and bad. I mean, how can I judge them? They're all like 11 years old and getting their big break. But I think seeing them progressively get better at acting throughout the series is what speaks the most about their talents. In this one though, I think they honestly do a little bit of overacting. Like, whenever any of them see anything cool, they just look around in awe, like a bunch of idiots. And you know what, I'm saying that now, but maybe that's kind of adorable. I don't know. I'll let it slide, I guess. I will say some of the characterization of some of the characters, like Ron, for example. In the books, Ron kind of like stands up for his friends, where in this one, he's just kind of like dumb. He's the comedic relief. He's there for the characters to go, oh, Ron, you silly goose. But Ron in the books is a little more edgier. And by that, I mean he has really sharp edges on his face. So be careful, future Hermione. Harry, on the other hand, perfectly adapted. It's easy to fall in love with Harry because from the get-go, we see that his life fucking sucks. Unlike Michael Jackson, Harry is not a slave to the rhythm, but instead a normal slave for his gross, disgusting uncle. Seeing Harry be such a nice young man, even despite getting mistreated, makes you want to root for him. Everyone loves an underdog, but no one loves to be under their dog. Harry's the perfect main character because everyone in the audience wants to see him succeed. I don't know too many people who are rooting for his uncle to win and keep him as a slave. Like, I don't know, maybe this guy? Why is the Harry Potter video the most political one I've made so far? This is stupid. I'm sitting here now and I'm trying to review this movie, but I feel like so much of why I love it is nostalgia. Like, if I'm being honest, the story is kind of all over the place. And in the books, it's not much better. A lot of the first half of the book is about setting up Harry and the wizarding world. Same for this movie as well. All of it is super great, but when we get into the stuff about Nicholas Flamel and the stone and the... Oh my god, I'm getting really sleepy, guys. I'm getting really sleepy. Because it's boring. Also, having Quirrell wear a turban to hide his disgusting Voldemort face. Guys, this came out 2 months after 9/11. 2 months after 9/11. How did they get away with that? I mean, granted, Peter Jackson literally called his second Lord of the Rings movies The Two Towers a year after 9/11. Here's my impression of how that meeting probably would have went down at Warner Bros. Oh, Peter, what do you got for us? What's the name of your new movie? Fuck. So this is crazy, dog. So I know, like, you know, like that whole thing that happened like last September, you know? I mean, like, is it really, like, because, like, I was thinking of naming the next movie The Two Towers. What do we think? Yes, this is genius. This is genius. I mean, it is the title of the actual book, though. So, like, why am I still on Peter Jackson? This is Harry Potter video. The second half of this movie gets really boring. You're given really cool world building in the first half, a lot of cute scenes of the kids attending school and whatnot, and meeting professors like McGonagall and Snape, who is definitely giving daddy vibes, and also maybe a little fruity.
I can teach you how to bewitch the mind and ensnare the senses.
You are gay!
If Dumbledore was gay, he would have been fucking Snape. Trust me. Like, Snape getting a blowjob from Dumbledore would be like, oh, Professor. Oh, now I know why they call you the headmaster. Anyway, the story in the second half tends to rush towards the finale, which is fine, but in all honesty, it doesn't feel like the stone is all that important. I think maybe that's more of a personal thing. I just think that one of the aspects of these movies that I like the most is the little antics that our characters go on and seeing them attend classes and interact with the wizarding world. So when the stone takes priority, I think we lose a little bit of that. In fact, I don't think Harry even casts a single spell in this whole movie, which, I don't know, kind of defeats the purpose of him being the chosen one out of all these wizard kids. Also, here's a little bit of a nitpick. In this movie, Harry's dad gives Harry the invisibility cloak, and Ron sees it and he goes, "Ah, sick, that's an invisibility cloak." Almost saying it like it was something you could get at a store. Cosmonaut Variety Hour also touched on this, and it's all I think about. So like Ron is like, wow, that's an invisibility cloak. It's like almost like you can get it anywheres. But then in the Deathly Hallows, there's only one invisibility cloak, and it's a big part of the whole series. So did JK really have that plan the whole time? Probably not. But despite all the flaws that I might have with this movie, I think a lot of it is made up by just how amazing the production design is, how everything looks, how everyone looks, the magical feel of the wizarding world, despite the fact that our main wizard doesn't cast a single spell. Our three main leads are likable, albeit not exactly what they were on the pages. Every adult actor is literally popping off, and watching them interact with each other is some of the greatest acting I have ever seen. It almost makes you forget how lame the final battle between our antagonist and our hero is. Harry is up against Quirrell and Voldemort. What spell will he cast to save the day? The answer is he doesn't. He just touches their faces.
Harder, Daddy. What?
I get this is a kid's movie, but if you go in expecting magical action, you're gonna be disappointed. Because for the most part, it's just kids bumbling around. This is a children's romp, not an action movie. I get it, okay? But would it have been cool to see more magic at the school full of wizards that do magic? Yeah, it would have been cool. Also, I should mention that while this movie does hold up in some cases, the CGI shots in this movie... Ooh, Jesus. Also, I find it funny how Voldemort really wanted to sabotage the sports games at the kids' school. Just so random, but okay, thanks, buddy. Thanks. Appreciate that. Looking back at this movie a whole 24 years after its release, I mean, it's hard not to give it props. Because I would argue that this movie is timeless. 20 years from now, I think I'll still like this movie. I don't think the new HBO show that they're doing is going to be able to live up to this movie or any of these adaptations. I think they captured lightning in a bottle here, folks. The odds of them being able to do this again with this much success, I just don't see it happening. This movie means a lot to a lot of people, and it means a lot to me, because I grew up with it. I feel like this is the one franchise that doesn't really need a reboot or a remake. These movies will stand on their own for decades. Of course, we can't control anything, because David Zaslav needs to make $25 million a year to pay his paycheck, so reboot it is. Look, this movie does hold up. It still holds up. It'll hold up after they make that HBO show. This is Harry Potter to me. They nailed it first try. 7.5 out of 10 movie. And some of them are even better than this one. I want to look through all 8 of these movies now, although it's probably going to take me potentially years to do that. I think revisiting the franchise will be interesting, to say the least. And I think that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want me to look more at the rest of these movies, you know? And I also hope that J.K. Rowling gets eaten by wolves. Yeah, nothing else there. I just really hope that happens. Sorry if I had low energy today. I am getting over a cold. This thing is beating the fuck out of me, but I needed to get, you know, this filmed so I could edit. Because I go back to school, which is going to be I don't even know, man. I'm fucking scared. Oh, thanks for getting me to 600 subs. I mean, really, it's a collective effort, guys. We all got our... You're a part of the team, guys. You're a part of the Spencer.G team. We got to 600. I'm really excited. I really hope we hit 1,000 because, I mean, I think I'd literally poo and shit my pants. But the only way to reach 1,000 is to like, subscribe, and share the video. Because if you actually subscribe, you get a free foot massage from Quentin Tarantino. As always, guys, remember, stay safe, stay healthy, stay sexy. Okay. Bye.
Reach this fuck, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up, eat 'em up.